Good boy, Louie. Hi guys, it's Savannah Rose from Impelling Minds. No. Well, that was kind of rude. It's Savannah Rose from Impelling Minds, and I wanted to make a video today about writer's block. Yes, I'm going to make a video on a motivational channel about something that really hinders motivation. So, I have been struggling with writer's block for the past couple weeks, probably the past like 2 weeks. It has been so hard for me to write anything that sounds good on paper. And it has been equally as difficult for me to come up with anything to talk about in a video. Any video I attempt to make turns out like garbage. I just seem not as interested as I really am, or I just can't come up with a video topic that really interests me. So I figured that today I would take the opportunity to make a video to talk about this ridiculously annoying problem that all creatives have at some point. I know that I'm going through this, and actually at the same time, Desna Fulton, my friend David, who I featured in my Instagram, is actually going through a similar kind of rut, having a difficult time coming up with things to draw, even though I think that she's fabulous, so. But we are our own worst critic, so I completely empathize and sympathize, because it sucks to not have anything, to not know. It sucks to not be able to speak, especially when you're trying to make a video. So I wanted to take the time to make a quick video to basically just talk about this issue. It seems when you have writer's block like you are never going to get out of it. It feels like you are never going to be able to create again. It feels like you're a failure. I guess I'll talk about me, because I'm not trying to call you a failure, but it feels like I'm a failure. It feels like my mind has run out of ideas. It feels like I personally am going through a lot of emotional issues at the same time, so it feels like, oh my god, what's wrong with me? There's always that question, what's wrong with me? And it's really important to recognize and to remember that it's not something wrong with you. It's not something wrong with anything. It happens. There are points in time where we're really inspired, and there are lots of things going on in our head and ideas connecting, and, but there are also days where that energy starts to kind of run up a little bit, and it needs time to replenish, and your creativity muscle is just not as strong as it was before. It needs to train a little bit, They say that procrastinators end up being some of the most creative people, and the idea behind that is there is time where you're creative, and then the time in between where you're kind of, lollygagging a little bit, you go to do something else, and then you come back to your idea. Having that time in between to be able to distract yourself from what you were creating and come back gives you a whole new level of insight that you didn't have before, because you exposed yourself to a whole different topic or a whole different activity, and then we're able to take what you exposed yourself to and put it back into your creation. Some ways that I've been able to work with my writer's block have been just doing it, sit down, and no matter how painful, because oh my goodness, it's almost painful to sit down and try to create when you feel like there's just something physically blocking you. Like, whenever I go to type on the computer, I feel like there's just a cloud that sits like right here. It's important to be okay with the fact that it's going to be painful, because oh my god, I can't even tell you how annoying it is to sit in front of my keyboard and see the blank screen and know that I have all the power to just type something and have just this cloud sitting right here. I feel like my creativity is a shiny substance in a little bottle floating around in my brain, and I just can't get to it. It's somewhere else right now. Sometimes it floats to the front, and then it's good, and it gets stuck there for a while, and I have a bunch of content, and there are other times where it just meanders away, and there's nothing to be said. Make yourself create, even though it's very, very difficult. Otherwise, it could take even longer for you to get out of this block. It's also important to do things that you don't usually do. So sometimes the reason that you get writer's block or artist's block or otherwise is because you're doing the same things over and over again, or you're watching the same types of things, or listening to the same types of things, or you get yourself in a rut. If you go and watch a TED Talk on something interesting and different that you're not usually exposing yourself to, or you read a book that is something that you've always wanted to explore but haven't, maybe even just watch an interesting movie that's new. Watch something new and the more things that you expose yourself to, the more content you'll build up for yourself, and that'll inspire more creativity. So just get yourself out there, do something, and go look for new content. And my last tip is just to be patient with yourself, because even making this video, it's very difficult to get out here and talk about it. It's difficult to formulate sentences, especially if your creativity block is caused by emotion or helped by emotion. Like, I've been having a lot of anxiety issues and, you know, going through my own things that have definitely contributed to this mental fog that's building. So be patient with yourself. Do things that are going to actually make you feel better. Don't push yourself to the point of breakdown, but just encourage yourself to keep creating, because it's important that you keep doing that for yourself. You don't want to lose what you're most passionate about, especially after you've been working on it for so long. So this is my video on writer's block. Let me know what you think. I hope you get out of this rut as soon as possible. If you are interested in reading something new, I wrote a new series of short stories that I called This Totally Happened. It is on Impelling Minds, at Impelling Minds Instagram. It's a 3-part, or you can go to impellingminds.com. The first story that I wrote was the story of how I met my boyfriend, the one that I'm long distance with, Benjamin. Why did I introduce him like that? I don't know. But if you're interested in reading some new content, check out that story. If not, then I hope you guys have a good rest of your night, and that you improve and that you can overcome these blocks, because gosh, I know sitting here right now trying to do this, it's really annoying. So love you guys, have a good night, and create something for yourself.